also the administrator of Good Wolf, a Facebook community with over 250,000 members. Before I begin my remarks, I'd like to give you a bit of my background to provide context for my comments. From the early 1900s until the late 80s, my family owned and operated one of the largest cattle companies in Colorado. Growing up, if a steer had a name, that meant it was going to end up on our table. So you can imagine what my granddad, my uncle, and their hired hands thought of wolves. In spite of their low opinion of this animal, or maybe because of it, I developed an interest that became a lifelong fascination. As a result, I've spent much of the last 30 years studying and even living with wolves, as well as sharing my knowledge with the public, including conducting campfire talks about the return of wolves to California at Yosemite National Park during the high season. I do not think wolves are my spiritual animal, nor do I think they're like magical unicorns that poop sparkly rainbows. I know wolves are powerful predators. Like I said, I've been hands-on with them for nearly 30 years. A lot of people think of me specifically as a wolf god, but the truth is I'm a wilderness advocate that knows that nature is only complete when it includes the full complex of native species in sufficient numbers to exert their true ecological role. When OR7 made its first steps into California, I made a bold public prediction. I said within 3 years, wolves would begin to recolonize California. However, many people thought this was more than a little optimistic. However, on August 2015, my good friend Suzanne Stone called me and said, "Good morning, Grandpa," just minutes after I'd received word that we had confirmation of a breeding pair of wolves in Siskiyou County. It was, as I predicted, a strong indication that wolves could find room to roam and recover in California. This is why the draft plan concerns me. It appears to be exactly what it's called, a management plan, not a recovery plan. Why would we not want this species to maximally fulfill its historical, critical, biological role? For what other species would 4 breeding pairs and as few as 16 animals, including half that are immature, be considered a population that is in any way recovered, recovering, or sustainable without a steady flow of additional wolves from neighboring states where wolves are generally under threat now that protections have largely been removed? In fact, anything, parvo, distemper, poaching, car strikes, as well as natural locality could wipe out this population or set it back years. In fact, all the numeric thresholds for shifting phase appear to be artificially low and lacking any clear scientific justification. With all we've learned about wolves in the last 50 years, why are we still managing the species by something as simplistic as absolute population numbers? In addition, I'm concerned that the plan fails to provide adequate clarity with respect to depredations, including lacking the ability to define depredation as possible instead of the heavily loaded probable. Further, without clear depredation protocols, any compensation program will be fraught with conflict, as we have seen in other states where lack of clarity and a paucity of qualified experts to make these critical determinations has led to frustration by producers and wolf advocates alike. I am disappointed that public education appears to be another critical, yet mostly missing piece of this puzzle. Building tolerance requires an informed public, not just ranchers, yet this plan fails to adequately address this vital aspect of wolf recovery in a meaningful way. Finally, I am disturbed by a lack of discussion of hunter education in this plan. Wolf dispersal has been hampered,
conclude your comments
again and again by mistaken killing of wolves under the McKittrick policy. This gives carte blanche to anyone with a gun that feels like shooting anything that resembles a wild canine. If anytime, anywhere, no licensed slaughter of coyotes is permitted, then we must make hunters responsible
at this point,
for knowing that I have 1 paragraph left, knowing that their targets.
We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. I'm sorry, sir. You're a minute and a half over at this point. Thank you very much for your comments. Please do submit additional comments in writing, though. I appreciate it. Next, we have Jana Menard, followed by Fraser Schilling and Sharon Pansford. Ms. Menard.
We're not taking a break, huh?
I guess not.
Oh.
I don't know.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have some concerns regarding the 3-phase management plan.
Well, I guess that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching.